Alright, Chapter 50, Volume 1, Part 3, Chapter 5400, Standing with the Debt Collection, Sign with the Designation. Treasury Financial Manual of the Chapter 74 of the Trade and Proceed for the Department of Treasury, with acting with the Bureau of Official Surplus for the designating of the debt, with the collection, sign with the, also with the outline, responsible for the designating of the debt collection, similar. Treasury Financial Manual Chapter, replace with the supersede with the all of the version, Federal Debt Collection Center of the Designation Policy, proceed with the standards issued by the Treasury. Any prior decision under those standards remain in effect until unless expressly revoked. The term of the debt of the collection center the same with the definition set forth in Title 31 CFR 28512A for the purpose of the Treasury Financial Manual Chapter for the debt of the collection center does not include official services, include the official services cross servicing program. Section 4510 background federal agents generally must refer to the debt that has been delinquent for the period of the 180 days for official services cross servicing program for election action. However, the debts have been referred to delinquent for the designated debit collection center for the exemption for the period of the term of the Secretary of the term of this requirement. Section 5420, scope of the provision of the Treasury Financing Manual, address the certain responsible for the debt collection center for the prescribed the chain with the Secretary will evaluate the responsible request the initial designation debt collection center pursuant to Title 31 U.S. Standard Code 3711 G3 with the request for the renewal of the site of the designation, explain how the federal agency may seek the designation and renewal. Section 5430, the definition of the term that is referred to in the chapter is the Treasury Financial Manual Glossary. Section 5440, authority of the section having the authority to designate withdrawal of the designated with the debt collection center for the operating with the federal agencies. Secretary is authorized to establish with the designated with the operation debt collection centers. Section 5450, the authority of the responsible for the debt collection center with the 545010 with the reservable debt to the client of the agency. After designation, official service and the extent of the permit to the designation debt collection center with the may solicit client ratings for the referred debts. 545020 with the use of the debt collection tool for the debt collection center the master may take an appropriate action to collect with the suspend terminate collection action and refer to the debt, but the debt collection center must be held with appropriate debt collection tools. Consider the debt collection strategy with the substantive of the application designated with the renewal of the debt collection center must be equipped with the appropriate system policy for the debt collection strategy to enable to the use of all authorized debt collection tool for the debt collection center that must notify the official ship of any substantial change of the debt collection process via the address of the section 547010 in the Treasury Financial Manual Chapter and prior into this implementation. 545030 referral of the debts official serve the collection treasury officer at the top would appropriately recover the debt of the collection some of the measure refer to the debt and financial services of the collecting with the top of the include the tax refund offset of the officer of the certain with the federal state payments. 545040 with the referral of the debts for the Department of Justice appropriate to recover the law with the debt collection certainly must be the defer of debts for the Department of Justice litigation compromise suspension for the termination collection activity. With regard to any of the debt based on the whole and the part of the conduct with the violation antitrust law with any of the debt with involved with the fraud with the disposition of false claim and the rest misrepresentation part of the debtor with any of the following having interest over the claim in the debt collection certainly must promptly refer to the case of the Department of Justice for action. 545050 the debt collection data and report of the debt. Debt collection data debt collection center must have the eligible age debt known as specified the debt of the collection profit to determine the collection of the delinquent debt versus the current debt of the debt collection center must also keep the accurate records for all of the debts including the proper accrual, the assessment of the interest and penalty for the administrative cost on the debts. The debt collection center must also provide with sufficient information of the client agency to maintain the internal credit the records accurately completely report with the information TROR is agreed with between the client agent for the debt collection, the direct collection center that may complete with the required TROR report with the client agency behalf. 545060 fees for the debt collection service. The debt collection centers made sure of the chain client agencies up to the full cost of the debt collection services provided in C Title 131 U.S. Code 3711 G6 through A and Title 31 CFR 28512J. Section 5460, same with the initial designation renewal of the 546010 with the general guidelines. Secretary designated the renewal of the existing designation agency for the debit collection center. Secretary will much of the designate or renewal of the specific type of the debt for the specified period of time. 546020, same with the initial designation renewal with no one factor to demonstrate the analyzing agency application for the designate for the debt collection center with the renewal of the type of the designation. The Secretary will consider the agency can more effectively serve the debt for the compared with the official service cross servicing program, have the effective debt collection share with the provide with the use of the appropriate debt collection tools, comply with the relevant debt collection law. To the extent applicable to demonstrate the historic ability to collect the debt of the debts owned with the other agencies agency to the extent of the applicable charge fee for the client agency with the use of the appropriate legal authority with the appropriate government methodology. To the extent of the agency purpose of the service of the requirement of the refer with officials for the servicing program, the Treasury Financial Manual, Volume 1, Part 3, Chapter 5200. Exemption of class for the debt with the referral of the Treasury cost service for the Secretary may determine some of these factors are not relevant. 54. Some of the application for the initial design with the renewal designation. 54. Some of the 10 with the informal discussion. If after reviewing the guidelines of the chapter, the agents believe with the debt collection of the 10 of the designation, renewal of the designation must maybe be warranted with the agency officials again the content of the official server to discover the need of the designation, renewal of the designation. Other options if they may be able to address the agencies or concern the agencies to decide whether to proceed with the seeking the designation should submit with the written draft application. See Section 54. Some of the 20B with the below the official service review comment before submitting with the request for the designation. Official service review of the draft application, issue with the informal discussion, contact official service with the primary step of the file, Department of Treasury, Bureau of Official Service with the Bureau of Debt with the Management Service Director, receive the America and Management of the Debt Service Division, 3201 Pennsylvania Drive, Building E, Landover, the Maryland, 27785, telephone number 202-874-6810. 54. Some of the 20 formal application, generally with an informed discussion of the officials with the subsection 54. Some of the 10 with the Treasury Financial Management chapter with the agency with determined to make for the formal request for the initial designation with the renew with the existing designation. Request must be made in writing the head of the agency appropriately delegated with the chief financial officer or any other senior agency officer with the equivalent level. 54. Some of the 20B required information application agency identify the type of the debts for the wish to serve the address without immediately stand with the specified with the 546020 with the Treasury Financial Manual chapter included. Describing why it's best suited to serve the debt compared with the official serve the cross-serving program to discover the debt collection strategy that include with the time frame with the view of the debt collection to the collection include but not limited to the due profits and the opportunity with the review the inspection of the record of the demand other letter phone call with the credit with the rating with the private collection agent with the litigation officer with the including internal officer with the referral of the Treasury offset program with the administrator with the wage garnishment with the section 1099C reporting agency shall detail with the specific action agency to take with the delinquent debt including these actions that will be taken with providing historical data with the shall confirm that all the use of all of the appropriate debt collection tool with the outlining of the debt agent for the debt with the collection strategy. Provide annual collection status with the past 5 years of dollars amount with the compared with the dollar amount with the debt that was handed down with the collection compared with the number of the debts and all of the debts owed with the agency over that agency servicing, including delinquent debt with the debt should be separately with the debt detail of the collection at the rates for the current with the debt with the delinquent 180 days to 11 debt more than 180 days delinquent. Providing information on the direct for the indirect collection for the in-depth of the agency, the actual accrual of the project, the cost for the financial modernization, maintenance of the legal financial service system over the next 3 to 5 years, indicating whether a charge with the client agrees with the fees, within providing information regarding the authority with which the fees are charged with the explanation of the fee with the cost of the methodology. Including evidence of the agency with the full response for the debt collection service, including those listed in section 5450 of the Treasury Financial Manual chapter. Addressing the application request should be addressed to the Commissioner, Bureau Officials, for the Department of Treasury, and sent to the Department of Bureau Officials for the Debt Management, for the Director for the Receiver of the Management of the Debt Service Division. 547030. Official serve the request for additional information. Official determines the application is incomplete and needs more information. Officials will notify the agency to describe the specific information must be sufficiently complete with the application after the reasonable period for the secretary and that receive the additional information. Official service will notify the requesting official with the concern of the agency the application withdrawn. Section 5480. The secretary will respond with the agency with the question initial designation of a renewal for the secretary with the agent for the application for the initial designation for the debt collection term with the renewal of the existing designation based with the standards listed within 5460. Secretary may take action with regard to the designation positions and determine the best interest for the federal government. Such action may be included with the grant denying with limiting the designation whole and part with the taking of alternative actions as appropriate. General description designation the renewal designation should be at the set forth period. The Secretary may designate a debt collection center to collect with its own debt with the debt owed with the other federal agency for official services provided for the written notification agency for the Secretary Division decision. Section 5490, review withdrawal of the data collection at the time of the designation. 549010, agency request the withdrawal. The agency may request the writing with the secretary withdrawal of the data of the collection time of the designation. Any time the withdrawal must require through to split the date with the termination designation provided that any of the exits traffic and ensure that there is no interruption in the collection and at the end of the debts being serviced with the debt collection center. In response, the agency requests the secretary routinely withdraw the designation. The secretary will determine the existing strategy the proposed date with the termination substantially interfere with the collection of the referred debt within in which case the official serve with the agency with a negotiate with the mutually agree with the existing strategy for the termination date. 549020, review of the Treasury directed withdrawal. Official serve with the direction with conduct of periodic review of the designating of the debt collection, serve with the data collection, serve with the information required of the official serve with the facilitate the review. Secretary determine the date for the information debt submitted by the debt collection center with the review any of the other appropriate debt with the federal government best interest with the withdrawal of the debt collection center with the designation serve with the determination. Official serve with notified with the hard head of the agency operating with the debt with the collection center with the writing of the decision with the notice and will identify the effective date with the withdrawal of the disengaged. The designation, which generally will be at least 60 days for the writing notice, unless the secretary determines if each earlier withdrawal is warranted. 549030. Do the transfers referred to debts upon withdrawal, properly following the withdrawal of the debt collection center with the designation for any of the previously designated debt collection center must transfer the referred accounts, including all relevant data concerning the such accounts with another debt collection center with the client agency. The direct officials of the previously designated debt collection center must take timely, good faith action to ensure financial interests of the federal government are not jeopardized. Contacts. You have the Department of Treasury Bureau of Financial Services, the Department Debt Management, for the Receivable Management of Debt Services, and that's in Maryland. And then summaries. That was Treasury Financial Manual, Volume 1, Part 3, Chapter 5400.